So here we are back in Wargame Airland battle. I think it's time to build a new deck. This time we're going to build a pack deck, I think. Soviet deck. So we'll call our deck, what should we call it? Red Fist? I don't know. I'm not great at Soviet names. Which one of these is the Soviets? Is it the RDA? URSS? We're about to find out. Let's take a look. URSS. Armored. I think that's right. Okay. So instead of going for my usual infantry, I've decided to depart from that strategy, and this time we're going to focus on our armored core. So let's see. Obviously want some decently tough commands. Ones which aren't going to give themselves away though, preferably. This have good. This guy has good optics. I quite like good optics. Can only get one of each of these guys though, so we'll get the cheap missile firing ones as well. And then we want the maximum amount of supply possible. So these ones each carry 1,250, 750. How many do we get? Oh, they're quite similar prices. Let's bring the Ds. Think of Ds. Oh, but which ones are the Ds are faster, so more Ds. Okay. Should we bother with forward operating base? Guess it might still come in handy. Okay, infantry. We only get 3 units of infantry this time, so we'll probably just want to bulk out. Maybe we'll get only ones which have the missile vehicles. These tanks are pretty good transport vehicles. Makes them a very expensive unit, of course. We'll get a squad of them. And we'll get a squad of Kronkers as well. Do we have any of them? Only cheap ones. Not very many. Might be a problem. And some anti-air guys. I think the Strela ones are better. Maybe we'll make do without the Strela ones and just bring more infantry. Maybe in a cheaper tank. Like the BMP-2. I'm just going to try and rush. It's all about the offensive. This new deck we're going with. But yeah, we should bring some anti-vehicle weaponry. Okay, so it's critical that we have decent anti-air now, because we'll be going with lots of tanks. Which of these are good? Just want things with decent range, essentially. 3,150. These ones seem a lot better. These ones are radar, and these ones are not radar. Well, I think the Bucks are the best. Though you only get 4. 4 of either. Let's get 4 of them. Which one of these do we get quite a few of? Maybe some OSA AKs. And then we need some of the sort of auto-firing ones. I really just don't know what the right ones are called. Oh yeah, the Tunguskas are really good. They have dual systems, so they have both the machine gun firing ones and the missiles. Could be quite handy. I think we'll get more if we get the other kind. These ones have much better range. Maybe we can make do without these guys. We don't get very many. We do want the short-ranged auto-firing ones. And we do want some artillery. The Danners are generally quite good. Do we have those? Danners. Don't think we do. You know. Maybe we'll just get some cheap ones. Let's just see how many of these we get. We could get 3 of this one with a range of 3. Quite good range, but low accuracy. These guys have good accuracy, decent range, well, rubbish range, but yeah, well, we'll get some. Okay, so now tanks. This is the main core of our army. The T-80s are basically some of the best units in the game. Maybe we'll get a squadron of some T-80Us, some T-80BVs. T-80As? We won't have many men if we have another T-80. Which one of these is good? Maybe it's some T-72Bs? They're quite expensive. T-64Bs. How many of them can we get? We can get 12 of these. We can get 8 of these. Which one of the T-62s has missiles? The T-62M. Yeah, we can get a squad of them. We didn't get any T-72s in the end, so I guess we will get some T-72Bs. And then maybe some cheap tanks just to bulk us out. Does it have any armor penetration? 9. Can't really decide between these two too easily. This guy's a lot more accuracy, we'll go with him. Okay, recon. We want something which can keep up with our forces and still go toe to toe with the enemy, so I quite like these recons which have the missiles. Have a couple of squads of the missile carrying ones. Have some Spetsnaz to help us clear some towns if we have to. And of course the helicopters. We're running out of activation points already. Maybe I'm just getting a bit too keen. Neither of these appeals to me that much though, actually. This guy has decentish ability against a range. Do we want any helicopters? Not particularly. Need some planes, but we only got a few points. Can afford to have 4 points worth, so just 2 units. 1 bomber and 1 fighter then, I guess. Should we go with a cheap bomber or expensive bomber? Oh, decisions. Maybe an expensive bomber. Which ones have decent ECM? This one has decent ECM, but we only get 1. How many of these do we get? We get 2 of these ones, they have good ECM. We'll go with one of them, I guess. Maybe a fighter then? Which fighter should we go with? Some sort of MiG is basically mandatory. There's a couple of these guys. Still got 1 point left to spend on something. Could get another plane if we get rid of this guy. Maybe we'll just get another plane. In that case, maybe a cheap bomber. Cheapest bomber, 50? That's pretty cheap. How many do we get? Just 2. And there we go. That's our Soviet deck. My first Soviet deck. We have no vehicles, no helicopters. Plenty of tanks though. And that's what we'll be depending on.